Good day everyone. So my name is Romjan Dakanay Perez and I will be reporting about the Code of Ethics, Section 1, Specialization of Civil Engineering. So let's talk about the specialization in civil engineering. So within the practice of civil engineering, the PICE recognizes the 5 initial areas of specialization, and I know na alam niyo na ito, no? These are the geotechnical engineering, structural engineering, water engineering, transportational engineering, and constructional engineering. So a civil engineer who has demonstrated his knowledge, experience, education, and in training accordance with the requirements of the concerned specialization is considered as as specialist. So if you want to pursue the mentioned specialization, no, you have to study again if you're just a civil engineer. So also, specialty committee of the PICE is awarded a certificate of specialization by PICE. And those awarded a certificate are considered qualified for position in the respective areas of specialization. So next is selection of civil engineer. So the engagement of civil engineer is one of the most important decisions to be made during the development of an engineering project, and the accomplish of the client's objectives and commitment of financial resources, soundness of design, and sustainability of proposed project for its intended function rest upon the experience, organizational skill, integrity, and judgment of the civil engineer. So the civil engineers recommendations also based on these factors affect the life cycle cost and thereby influence the economic feasibility of the undertaking. That's why it is really important for the engineer to be present in the field, especially if na to ang client, no, for the client to be able to understand and to understand the project and have more detailed information about sa inyong mga buhatonon, and for us to avoid confusion and to be selected as the civil engineer for the project, no. So the cost of the full range of engineering services typically amounts to not less than 1 to 2% of the life cycle cost of most construction projects. So for example is 1 million na nga to ang life cycle cost, no. So the estimated engineering service fee is about 100,000. So that is why it is therefore in client's best interest to engage the most qualified and reputable civil engineering or civil engineering firm available. So it is usually advantageous for the clients to select a civil engineer who can support the project from conception to design, construction, and project startup, because the continuity of service aid in developing a relationship between the civil engineering and client, which will add to success of the project. That is why it is really important, no, for the client to pick the most qualified civil engineer sa ihang project, no, to avoid pod ang mga expense na wala sa lugar na yun na mga dili ka nang labo ud kaayo. Qualification, experience, reputation, and quality of client service are of critical importance in the selection of a civil engineer as a consultant. Because selection based primarily on cost of service with limited consideration of the competence or expertise of the consultant can result unsatisfactory service to the client in higher overall project cost. So the more qualified and experienced civil engineer ka, the more you satisfy your clients. Once a civil engineer is selected, detailed discussion between the engineer and client to define the scope and expectation of the engineering service to be provided are essential before negotiation a fee for service. Before the negotiation of fee for services, dapat jud na nandiyo tayo sa civil engineer. Once na anatay civil engineer no para sa ato ang project, dira na musugod ang negotiation of fee for services. So a clearly defined scope of services greatly reduces the potential for misunderstanding or confusion. If there are misunderstandings, this can later evolve into project delays and claims for additional compensation na pod. So, a detailed scope of services protects the interest of both the client and the consultant. So, let's talk about the prime professional practice. So, the guideline in this manual refers specifically to the engagement of engineering services where the consulting civil engineers serve as the client directly as prime professional, and where the client is usually also the owner of the project. Some information in this manual is also applicable when the civil engineering serves the client indirectly as a sub-consultant through another engineer or architect who serves as the prime professional. So these services may also be performed through another entity on a design, building, construction, management, or turnkey projects. So the last but not the least is the employment of civil engineers. So the guidelines in this manual refers to the civil engineers employed by professional consulting firms, government agencies, educational institutions, construction firms, manufacturing and commercial entities, and other entities. So, ever tapos na ta sa ato ang mag-eskwela and we became a civil engineer na no, we are nasa to akong asa ta trabaho no. We can work sa government agencies no, just like DPWH, sa Kulamantana no, Department of Works and Highways. Pwede ta dira magtrabaho sa mag-office ta and pwede ta dira magtrabaho, and pwede po ta magtrabaho sa City of Engineers no. We can also work on schools, educational institutions, just like sa itong mga teacher na engineer. They are teaching their students about their knowledge and also learn again. We can also work on construction firms. Pwede po ta maging businessman. Pwede po ta magtindog o isa ka business about construction materials, mamaligya tag construction materials because akong pagkabalo biskan gamay lang na nga store na no na baligyaanan sa mga construction materials no, dako na kasi lagi nakita ana. So pwede po ta mag-work sa mga manufacturing and commercial entities, and daghan kita masudlan, especially if pursue tag masteral and doctoral na nandiyo specialization. Daghan jud kay opportunity na moabot sa tua. And that's all for my report. Thank you.